If you have a credit card balance and you're only sending the minimum payment every month, this video is for you. In this video, I will show you the actual math side by side of what happens to a 6,000 credit card balance when you only pay the minimum versus what happens when you consistently send more than minimum using cash flow. You have already found it in your budget. I paid over $500 a month in interest for years before I figured this out. Today I pay zero. You have probably done this. You make your payment every single month on time, without fail. Then months later you look at the balance and it's basically the same number. Maybe it moved a little, not enough to notice, not enough to feel like anything is actually happening. Eventually you start wondering, am I doing something wrong? Or worst, maybe this debt is just something I'm going to carry forever. Let's look at the math. I track what happens to the 6,000 balance, and this is what I did. I'm going to show you the numbers. So let's pretend that you have a 6,000 debt. In 1 year, 6,000, sorry. And that's it. That means that I'm not AI talking. Okay, so that I like. That's why I don't edit my videos. If I make mistakes, I make mistakes because now with AI. Okay, so let's say that you have a debt of $6,000 and the APR is 29%. When you have a debt of $6,000 and with an APR at 29%, they will calculate about a minimum of 200, maybe 190, around that number, 20 up or 20 down, something like that. So then interest, so notice that I'm going to show you. So the interest over 1 full year, if you make the minimum payment, this is what happens. Okay, so now I'm going to show you. If you make minimum payments, so you make a payment of 200 in 1 year, this is how much you end up owing. Okay, you owe this is how much you paid. So if you're paying this to 200, you're going to be sending, this is how much you sent, this is how much. So now this is how I'm going to divide these two numbers. In interest, from this amount in interest, 1,646 went on interest. And how much you paid to this debt? You paid only 681. You send 200 every month. So notice that this is how much money you sent, but how much money you paid to reduce this? Only 681. If you only make payments, minimum payments, starting the balance of 6,000, ending the balance of 5,318, during that year you will have paid 2,328. But here's where the money actually went. They went to interest. So you paid, and that's the reason why I'm constantly, if you look at all my videos, I'm talking about that you are paying interest. That's how much interest is, how much money you're paying to keep that debt. Okay, and whenever you send a money, most of the money is going to go to pay the interest. Okay, so that's an entire year of making every payment on time, and the debt only dropped about 682. Now let's start with the exact same amount. So now I'm going to show you. If you have, yes, we are going to start with the same amount, but remember that I say that you need to pick one card. That's the key, picking one card and passing the expenses through it. You pass all the expenses, and right here I already wrote that you're spending $2,000 of expenses. You go to the grocery store, you pay some bills with that credit card. So you're going to be sending, instead of using your debit card, what you're going to do is you use this card, you send everything that you, I'm calculating that you spent $2,000 plus the $300. Notice that here you're sending $200. Okay, plus $300 in a year. Okay, after the year you have paid $2,128. Do you see? This is what you paid in 1 year when you use your the card as an expenses, and this is how much you owe. If you add this up, it will be that number. Okay, so notice that in interest, the interest is very close. You will have to pay almost, but the thing is that the interest is getting smaller and smaller as the time goes by. Here you're going to be paying this in about 2 years or so. Okay, so in this example, regular monthly expenses are paid through the same credit card, and each month the payment to the card is enough to cover those new purchases plus an extra $300 toward the existing balance. And I just want you to understand this, that when you are paying this, you need to pay the card. See? But so you're paying the card, so it's no difference. It's not that you're paying more. No. The extra $300 comes from the cash flow that was already available after tracking income and expenses. Here's what happens after 1 year. The starting balance is $6,000, ending balance is $3,871, and the reduction is $2,128. The total interest that you pay during that year is $1,471. That's about $175 less in interest than the minimum payment path, and more than 3 times as much of the original debt gets paid off. This doesn't happen because putting expenses in one credit card is some magic trick. It happens because you are consistently sending more than the minimum towards the existing balance. As that balance gets smaller, the interest charges get smaller too. That means more of every future payment goes towards reducing the debt instead of paying interest. Month after month, that effect starts working in your favor. Today, pull out your own credit card statement, find 3 numbers: your balance, the interest you were charged this month, and your minimum payment. Then ask yourself one question: how much of my payment is actually reducing what I owe? Because once you know that number, you will understand exactly why your balance is or isn't moving. Thank you.